Hey Scott, welcome to Personal and Professional Best.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here. Glad y'all had me.
Well, we're glad that you're here. Listen, each year Alabama recruits roughly 25 kids, right? And these 25. Are the best of the best, top 1%, all of high school throughout America. They've spent years preparing and hoping to get to a place like this. So they've been training. They know the techniques, they know how to do all the things, and then they get here and there's a world-class facility. Why do they need a strength and conditioning coach?
Because first, I'd love that they had good technique when they walked in the door, but they don't. I can tell you story after story of the best that walked in and they had a plan, and then all of a sudden, whoa, that's how we do it here. So at the end of the day, it's about the buy-in. It's creating the culture for that class, which will create it from within, and kind of pushing the envelope. I depend on the younger guys to come in and try to beat the older guys, to push the envelope a little bit. So when they come in, it is a big shock. I guess I'm part of the de-recruitment side of things, but at the same time, guys really come in so lost and so confused. It's time to, okay, look, come here, take your time. This is football. This is strength and conditioning. It's gonna be hard. But we're putting armor on you, is how I say it. We're putting armor on you.
So you're building mindset, like
100%.
The mindset of the culture and what it takes to be a champion, personal, and be a part of it. And then you're also teaching them the technique,
yes,
right?
Yes, the technique,
the
basics.
Technique about
yes.
how to do it, right?
Yes, how to do the little things. A plus B equals C, right? Well, sometimes you got to keep going. And so the technical side is always huge because guys always, I'm going to Alabama, I want to lift heavy weight, right? I don't care about numbers. I'm gonna put the weight on them nice and easy. We're gonna lean them down and we're gonna build them up.
Got it. So they're the top 1% of the kids. How many of them get here and would you say they're just self-motivated? Like without you being there and being engaged, they would push themselves to the same place that you push them to?
I think day one, maybe. Day one, I would say that would be a high percentage. Day two, you're trailing off. By week 3, 0%. I'm zero. They are done. They are, this is too hard. Or, okay, I got to figure it out. And hopefully we're arming them with the right mentality so that when that time comes and they get hit in the mouth, they're ready.
So it's like breaking bad habits
yes.
and now getting into new habits. That transition point is pain, right?
Yes.
But then not only physical, but just emotional, mental, the whole thing. But then they get past that, get them on the other side, and now they kind of enter a groove where they are self-motivated.
Right, and I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to win the national championship. Everybody wants to win. The Super Bowl was the other day, right? Or last night. And that was great. But all those guys, every single day, it's hard to wake up every day and go bust tail. It's hard to go do what you're supposed to do every single day. So creating that habit is just getting up and doing it. Just do it. Don't worry about the results right now. Just do it. Because what you become through the hard work is the most important part. It has nothing to do with the end result. It's who you become while fighting that day, that minute, that rep, that set, whatever it is. It's who you become that I'm trying to figure out so that you can become even more. And then maybe we'll be holding up something.
Do you require the players to have goals in writing?
Yes, 100%. So we do a thing called SMART goals. And they're going to write down their daily goals. So here's your daily goals, and here's a box. If I did it, I get to check it, and then next week, you'll have another one. And then I have weekly goals. So if I have a guy set to do, I'm not going to miss one class this week, or I'm going to go to class on time every day this week. Sure, you're putting a check by it. Well, there's going to be some days you don't. So my weekly is going to be, okay, I'm 100% at class, but if not, I better go see the tutors too. So making it a little extra, but the point of the goals is you got to make them really specific. And we talk about, that's why they're called SMART goals to me. They're specific, you're measured, so you write them down, you give them a time frame, that's your T, time frame. You got to make them reachable, all right? So the little things that you're doing, and then accountability is the huge part. That's the baby.
That's why I'm here today.
Yes, sir.
Our whole program today is about what we're calling success partners, but it's really accountability partners.
That's right.
And that's what leaders do. I mean, leaders ultimately, no matter where it's at home, whether it's in my workplace or whether it's here at the University of Alabama, you have a group of people that you're responsible for, and our ultimate judgment as to whether or not we've done a good job is to bring them to a place they otherwise wouldn't have gone to, a better place. And that's this concept of accountability and success partners. So how often do you check in? So they've got their goals. How often do you check in individually to make sure they're on course?
So weekly we have to, but daily there's certain guys I'm going to hit. I have a staff too. They're going to hit certain guys. So every day they're going to get hit. Yeah, of course. They don't. That's the only way they communicate. The hardest part is making them put their phone down and sit down and have a conversation. It's the hardest part.
It is, because they're so comfortable with us. They just as soon sit across from you and text.
For sure. If you get a text, oh yeah, you can do that all day. They'll give you your whole life, their whole life story.
All right, so they show up, they're going to play football here, and that's how you meet them. Do you all have goals outside of strength and conditioning, academics, relationship, social? Like, how do they handle themselves outside of Alabama football?
Right.
And otherwise, yes?
So at the end of 100%, yes. At the end of the day, academics is what they have to get done. So some of them see it as their plan B, so to speak, their academic side. And having them understand, okay, well, your plan B is really difficult, you know, to sit in class every single day. Because if you miss class, there's penalties for that. You know, if you miss a tutor, there's penalties for that. So for sure, the academic side is big. The social side, and, you know, we're in the South. Religious is big.
Yeah.
If you're not using religion in your life, they're using it. So why aren't you communicating, okay, how can we make this better? How can you utilize this? And hey, are you going to go every Wednesday, every Sunday? Who are you hanging out with? It helps me know who they're with, too.
Sure. So just like a parent would.
100%.
Right? I mean, they're focused on a specific discipline that they happen to have a gift for, just like other kids may have a gift to play the piano or be in theater or something else. But we've got to, as leaders and as success partners, we've got to get at people's whole life.
That's right.
Because if their whole life is in balance and moving in the right direction, and it's more likely that the gift that they have is going to wind up shining. All
it's hard to find a guy that doesn't handle his business and have success on the field. They don't exist.
They don't.
If you have bad habits off the field, you're not going to class, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going to have success. It just doesn't happen. It's not like everybody thinks, you know, discipline, you know, I have discipline to wake up and do what I'm supposed to do, or say no to something if I'm trying to lose weight or whatever I'm trying to do. Well, what about strength? Okay, am I going to get strong just by playing on Saturday or Sunday for some reason? No, I got to do it in the weight room. So you got to have the discipline every single day before you can have discipline on the field.
So we hear about the process often, you know, and what I've found in my life, Scott, is that often brilliance is found in simplicity. And so it feels like the process is create a mindset with the kids, challenge the kids to have a mindset, right, about being the best version of themselves, to create a specific plan for each one of them that's tailored based on what they're here, their job, what it is to do. And then get to work. And then you become that accountability, or as we say, success partner. So you're tracking every single thing that they do to make sure that they stay on course. Is that roughly right, the process?
100%, yes. Yeah. So the process is what you do daily and making sure it benefits yourself, your family, and the people around you.
You know, I've often thought that, you know, people talk about the playbook. It's like this sacred thing. You can look on film and see everybody's plays and recreate 100%. A playbook. What you cannot recreate is the mindset, right? And the success partnership that happens between you and the folks that and the kids that are playing here.
And when you get really good, they keep each other accountable.
That's a great point.
And they set goals together, and they're bigger than you could ever set them.
I love it. I love it. So the atmosphere becomes then that leadership doesn't have to have a title. It just takes over and starts being responsible for others. Why? Because they want the best for everybody on the team. And then the team benefits as a result of everybody being accountable. Who's your accountability partner?
Well, of course, Coach Saban and my wife. Only two. That's only two I need.
Who's tougher?
My wife is tougher. There is no doubt. There is no doubt.
Last year, my goal, Scott, in my relationship area of my life with my wife, who I've been married to for 35 years, was not to be mad at her the entire year.
Wow.
And I got mad at her twice. That's what everyone asked.
Wow.
Twice for less than 5 minutes because it was intentional. I had it as a written part of my plan. And I love her so much that I just did not want to let anything wind up getting me mad at her. And what's true is that most people, a month later, don't even know why they were mad at that particular time. I had a bad day, whatever, things aren't going exactly right. Let's go to the other guy who's your accountability partner.
Of course.
In your professional life.
Of course.
What's that like?
And if Nick Saban's New Year's resolution was to yell less and don't break any headsets, it's already out the window. As Right here, he loses the headset. You see he's holding just one headphone.
I wonder if he just holds that headphone up to the side of his head the rest of the day.
This is the way I look at it. When you have a boss and his expectations of you are higher than your personal expectations, dead man walking. Dead, you have no chance. But if my expectations of what I want to accomplish for my job, so to speak, my career, what I'm aspiring to become, it's higher than his, I got no problems. So when he gets mad, man, why isn't A, B, and C happening? I'm like, man, that was 2 weeks ago. This is what I've done since.
Got it.
Like, you're finding out a little bit now. So for me, I've been with him 18 years. Like,
I love it.
Let's get real.
But
I wasn't even in my house for 18 years. I didn't live under my roof for 18 years.
You know what you find? It's like, it's the greatest blessing ever to have someone that is so driven to hold you to the standard, becoming the best Scott Cochran possible. It's a blessing. We may at times get frustrated by it, but it is a blessing to have that voice in our life. And people can do it at home with their kids, and then they could do it in an atmosphere like this one, or you could do it in our atmosphere at Supreme Lending. Do you love your players?
100%. They're like I don't want to say kids. I prefer uncle. Well, so don't give me, I'm not your big bro. I'm your uncle, but I'm not your pops either. Hopefully you have one. If you don't, you have someone that you consider, you know. But I just say I'm big uncle. That's how I go with it.
You know what I find in leadership is that, you know, when you find the best, they will love those that they're responsible for unconditionally, no matter. So much so that, as we were talking about before we came on today, they'll tell them the truth. Not because they want to hurt them, but because they want to help them and tell them the things that they need to hear that others may feel uncomfortable telling them.
That's right.
But as we talked about, when you get comfortable being uncomfortable, telling people the truth, then the exchange takes place where they actually, hey, they know that Scott loves me. They know Pat loves me. He would only tell me this because it would be better for me to hear it. So
when you get to hear that, someone tell you to your core what you're really, where you're screwing up or where you're having success, and they don't care about your feelings, that's real. Yeah. And that's what they're looking for.
They can get better now.
Right.
It's the only way to get better.
Everybody's kissing the crack of their behinds. Like, come in the office, come in the weight room, that's not happening. Come in the facility, that's not happening. Let the fans do that. Let's come in here and get better.
So you guys are like keeping it real inside the
We have to. We have
well,
to,
right? Just look at the stadium. I mean, there's 100,000 people here cheering for them and wearing their jerseys, right?
Everybody loves you until you get your butt whipped like he did.
Well, next year, it's right around the corner. I can't wait.
Don't worry.
So our audience is here today. It's comprised of hundreds of people that are in the real estate industry and in our organization in the mortgage banking business, and we have friends and family following us. What advice would you give them? Because you're that guy that is pursuing becoming the best version of himself.
I mean, I think the simple thing is, number one, write your goals down. What I do with every player before they even walk in the door in the recruiting process is I make them get a Post-it and write down their top 3 goals. And I want them huge. I want them the biggest, baddest goals you've ever seen. First pick in the 2024 draft, whatever it is. You know, like mine's be the best husband and father ever. I want to get in the Word every day. There's a million, and I want 100% career from my players. So those are my 3. All right. So if I put those 3 and I put it on a Post-it and I put it on my mirror, eye level, that's my accountability to me. So if I look at that and say, okay, I want to be these things, I got to look at me next. So at the end of the day, for me, I'm going to look at this every day. Am I becoming him? And so that's my accountability check personally, because Coach Saban's not going to catch me on mine every day, but I'm going to look in the mirror at least every morning, every night. Hopefully I'm brushing my teeth, you know? So,
I like it.
But at the end of the day, I also put under that a little self-talk. So after I have my 3 goals, I'm going to put on there, for me, I put just a strength coach. You know, Moses led the people, right? Right? He stuttered.
He stutter.
He didn't lead a thing, all right? Somebody else did.
Yeah, his buddy Aaron was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
I know that guy.
And then you got Amos was just a businessman. God made him a prophet. So every time I'm in the weeds and I got too many players missing class, I got guys messing up, not doing the right thing, I go back to, I'm just a strength coach. It's not even about me. And all of a sudden I'm like, do my job.
Just be the best strength coach you can possibly be.
That's right.
Be the best real estate agent, best mortgage banker, best mom, best everything in every part of your life. Scott, thank you so much
Yes, sir.
for what you're doing here at the University of Alabama, and thanks for being on our program
Hey,
today.
you're right.
Yep.
Appreciate you.